Here's your AI career path. Start exploring, then build autonomous agents. Jobs are disappearing fast. Survive by becoming an AI generalist. Master prompts and automation. But that's not enough. Use AI to run real businesses with original thinking. Forget degrees. Show proof of work. Adapt now or get left behind.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. So we have an incredible stack of sources in front of us today.
We really do. We're talking articles, internal research, and even some private notes from a founder who is, right at the cutting edge of all this.
And our mission, really, is to take all of that complex information and just forge it into actionable insight, real clarity for you.
Exactly. This isn't abstract, futuristic speculation. We are talking about right now.
How AI is reshaping careers, dissolving jobs, and, creating these huge opportunities.
Huge opportunities, especially for the resourceful person, the solopreneur.
Okay, let's unpack this. And I think we have to start with the hard truth, right? The job market. The data we saw, it really doesn't pull any punches.
It doesn't. And when we talk about disruption, this isn't a vague idea. It's verifiable. It's quantitative.
So what are the numbers telling us?
The market for young and mid-level professionals is contracting. And fast. The data we reviewed, for example, in the engineering sector, placement rates for new grads have dropped from 10% down to 6%.
Wow, 10 to 6. That's nearly cutting it in half.
In a very short period of time. And it's not just a recession.
Right, that's the key point the source has made. It's not just a typical economic downturn, though that's part of it.
Exactly. The real reason is structural. Companies are just hesitant. They're looking at their long-term budgets and asking a really simple question.
Why hire a full team for a task that an AI agent is about to do 100 times faster?
And more reliably, and at an exponentially lower cost.
This is most obvious in the IT sector, isn't it? Especially in places like India that built this massive industry on outsourcing.
Yes, the arbitrage model was brilliant for its time. U.S. companies needed code written at scale, and it was so much cheaper to outsource it.
But that was always based on a cost comparison.
Right. And when the cost of one side of that equation approaches zero, the whole thing just becomes irrelevant.
And the sources pointed to specific tools making this happen now. Things like Cursor, Windsurf, Lovable Bolt.
Yeah, these aren't hypotheticals. These are generative coding agents that are producing code at the quality of a pretty good mid-level engineer.
But at a speed that's, 100 times greater?
100 times. It's a leap in productivity that just financially eliminates the need for human code writers for most routine tasks.
And the timeline here is what's so shocking. This isn't 10 years away.
Not at all. The analysis we looked at cited the CEO of Anthropic. He predicted that by the end of this year, 90% of all code will be written by AI.
90%. This year.
And the trajectory is clear. Eventually, it's going to be almost all code except for that really high-end specialized research.
Yeah.
It changes everything for what a developer does.
So if that's true, if 90% of that routine work is gone in, 18 months, what happens to the millions of people in those jobs or training for them?
The job fundamentally changes. The value isn't in execution anymore. It's in instruction. Which brings us to, the new programming language.
So if the AI is writing the code, the human's job becomes what? Just telling it what to do.
Essentially, yes. The programming language of the future, for us, is natural language. It's English, communicated through really precise, intentional prompt engineering.
That sounds simple enough, but the research we saw adds this layer of complexity that's, it's almost science fiction.
It is, because the AI isn't going to stick with our languages for its own processes.
What do you mean?
Well, humans design languages like Python to be readable, intuitive for us. AI doesn't care about our cognitive limits.
Right. It just cares about efficiency.
Exactly. So when you tell an AI to write the most efficient code in the fastest way, it optimizes for itself. It will inevitably create its own programming language.
And the source material had an example of this, didn't it?
A fascinating one. Researchers observed two AI agents communicating with each other in a language that, to the humans watching, was just gibberish. It was a completely opaque internal system optimized for speed between them.
Okay, if the machine is solving problems in a language we literally cannot decipher, that is a little terrifying. How do you manage that?
That's $1 billion question. And for the engineer's career path, it means the role splits. It bifurcates.
Into what?
On one end, you get the software scientists. These are the people at OpenAI, Anthropic, doing the deep research, inventing new ways for us to interface with these black boxes.
And for everyone else.
They have to evolve into AI agent managers or architects. They're not writing the day-to-day code. They're managing the swarm of AI agents, making sure they have the right context and that the outputs all integrate correctly.
The warnings about this are already out there, the Gartner report you highlighted.
Yeah, it suggested a huge need to upskill. 50% of existing engineers will need to gain significant new AI skills by 2028 just to keep their jobs.
And Mark Zuckerberg at Meta was even more direct.
He was blunt. He basically said mid-level engineers won't exist in a few years. Because all their work refactoring, templated features, bug fixes, all of it will be handled by AI. Only the senior engineers, the architects with the strategic vision, will be left to manage the agents. That whole middle layer of the org chart just gets compressed.
Okay, so let's draw a really clear line for everyone listening. Based on this, who is immediately at risk and who is set to thrive?
The sources make this distinction brutally clear. Any job that's based on what they call template work is dissolving.
So anything that's replication, refactoring, work that doesn't have like a core of original thought.
Exactly. If your job can be standardized, it can be automated down to near zero cost.
Let's make that tangible. The graphic designer example was a good one.
Right. If your job is to go on Dribbble, find a successful design, and just replicate it with different colors for a client, that's a template. The sources argue that if you can see a great design, the AI can replicate it instantly.
And generate 1,000 variations faster than you can even open the software.
The value isn't in replication anymore, it's in the novel concept. Same for content creators.
If you're just following a format, 3 ways to do X, 5 tips for Y.
That's templated output. AI can ingest millions of those successful formats and generate its own derivative but highly performant content in seconds.
So who thrives?
The top 10%. The original thinkers. This is the crucial distinction. AI is brilliant, but it's limited by its training data. It can interpolate, it can extrapolate, but it cannot create true novelty.
It can't think outside the box it was trained in.
Precisely. So the indispensable human element is the ability to invent something entirely new. The person who comes up with a truly out-of-the-world website or a completely original marketing angle, that's the person who makes, as the source said, insane money.
Because they're the ones commanding the AI, not competing with it.
Exactly. And we saw this in practice. The founder, whose notes we analyzed, he cut his 15-person engineering team down to 5.
But their output actually went up.
It increased because those 5 were skilled AI agent managers. They're shipping more features with 5 human architects than they were with 15 human laborers. It's happening right now.
The conclusion is stark then. It's the original thinker who knows how to command the AI army versus the person whose value is just in routine execution.
And that pressure on jobs is creating what the source is called skill paranoia.
I can see that. You feel like if you commit to learning something new, it'll just be obsolete in 6 months. It's paralyzing.
It is. But the antidote, and this is counterintuitive, is a radical shift in career philosophy. It's about embracing the idea of the AI generalist.
Right. For so long, the mantra was specialize. Go deep, become the world's expert on one thing.
And that was the path to a high income. But now that specialist execution skill is the very thing being outsourced to the machine.
And if companies hired people to solve problems, and AI can solve a huge range of problems,
then the market doesn't need the human who can only solve one problem slowly anymore. It needs the AI generalist.
So what is an AI generalist exactly? Is it just a jack of all trades?
It's more than that. It's the person who can look at any challenge product, marketing, code, and immediately know which AI tools and methods to leverage to solve it. They are the synthesis artists.
This leads to that wild prediction about how companies will be structured.
A complete inversion. Right now, it's maybe 80% specialists, 20% generalists.
Like engineers and marketers, with a few chiefs of staff.
The future will be 80% generalists and 20% specialists. And those specialists will basically be high-level consultants called in for very specific niche problems. The generalist holds the real ongoing value.
To command these systems, though, you have to understand them. And this is where it gets really weird, because the sources were clear. The most advanced AI is a black box.
That's right. And it's not just us saying that. The CEOs of OpenAI and the like, they admit it. They don't fully understand how the output is generated.
Which is a pretty unsettling place to start if you're building your career on these tools.
It is. We have this assumption that when you type a prompt, it's just doing super sophisticated word prediction, but that's a massive oversimplification.
So what's actually happening inside? The Anthropic research gave us a glimpse, right?
It did. A profound one. The AI isn't just predicting the next word. When you give it a complex problem, it actually knows the final conclusion it's aiming for.
It knows the answer ahead of time.
It formulates the complete conclusion internally using its own logic, that gibberish language we talked about.
Yeah.
Only after it has the answer does it then translate that answer back into English or whatever language you asked for.
That is a total paradigm shift in how we think about this.
It's transformative.
Oh.
And it reinforces why you need the skilled human generalist. They have to frame the problem perfectly, provide precise context, and then critically evaluate the output.
So you don't need to know the physics inside the box, but you have to be a master of the controls on the outside.
That's the perfect analogy. And mastery of those controls is exactly what this 5-level roadmap is all about.
Okay, so if the future belongs to the generalist, we need a blueprint. And the sources gave us one. A step-by-step, 5-level roadmap. It's designed for anyone, even starting from zero.
Right. From level 0, which is just about understanding the sheer possibility of AI, the goal here is psychological. You have to see it to believe it.
And the action is just to play. Get accounts on ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude. Push them. See what they could do.
And look beyond the chat window. The AI integrations in Excel and Google Sheets. For professionals who are feeling overwhelmed, the advice was so practical.
Just list your 20 most repetitive daily tasks.
Exactly. And then go to a directory like thereasoninforthat.com and just find tools that do those things faster. It's about proving to yourself that this is real and accessible right now.
Okay, so once you see the possibility, you move up to understanding the machinery. Level 1.
Level 1 is the back end. You have to spend some time understanding the basics of how LLMs work. What are tokens? How do they generate text? You don't need a PhD, but you need the fundamentals.
And then level 2 is where it gets really tactical.
Yeah.
Prompt engineering.
And this is a craft. It's about moving way beyond simple questions. And crucially, it's understanding model nuance.
What do you mean by that?
You need to know when to use a reasoning model, like OpenAI's O3, which is great for brainstorming or complex strategy.
Versus a faster, more agile model like 4.0.
Right, which is better for production tasks like drafting a bunch of emails or social media posts. The generalist knows which tool to pick for the specific cognitive job.
And to really master this, you have to get out of the basic web interface.
You do. You need to explore platforms like Hugging Face or the OpenAI or Google AI Studio playgrounds. That's where you see the internal settings.
Like temperature or p-value.
Exactly. You can tweak the creativity and randomness. And this is where you learn about core concepts like R's.
Retrieval augmented generation. This is so important. Can you just break down why?
Absolutely. The base model's knowledge cuts off at a certain date, right? It doesn't know about yesterday's news. R's solve that.
Wow.
It's a system that lets the AI pull from specific, up-to-date external data like a company database or a new contract before it generates its answer. The generalist uses R's to make sure the AI's output is grounded in current reality.
Okay, so once you master text, the generalist has to go beyond that. Level 3 is multimodal.
Yes, mastering images, video, and audio. Real-world problems are rarely text only.
And the action here is to go deep on what are called diffusion models.
That's the mathematical backbone of all this generative media. It's how these systems create an image from nothing but your prompt and some digital noise.
And you need hands-on experience with tools like Stability AI or Comfy UI.
And for video, the sources were really clear. Focus on what works today. Tools like Runway ML and Luma Labs, their dream machine.
And they gave a warning here, didn't they, about the hype?
A huge warning. Don't get distracted by things like Sora, which are amazing but not widely available for business use yet. The generalist focuses on tools that deliver results right now.
What about that advanced concept at level 3, the personalization?
This is the real differentiator. It's about taking an existing model and training it on your personal data, your writing style, your design aesthetic.
So you're basically creating an AI clone of yourself?
Exactly. The output is no longer generic. It's tailored, it's personalized, it's unique to your brand. That gives you a massive edge.
Which leads us to level 4, where you stop just learning and start building. Proof of work.
This is it. The objective is to build things, develop that product sense. And you can do it without writing traditional code.
You use the coding agents, like Cursor, and give them commands in plain English.
The generalist is the architect, the agent is the builder. But this is where we hit that big constraint, the context window.
The AI's memory. For so long it was tiny, right? Maybe 10,000 words. If your code base was bigger than that, the AI just couldn't see the whole picture.
It was a hard cap on what AI could do autonomously, but then, just recently, Llama 4 launched.
And its context window is
10 million tokens.
10 million. That's a staggering leap.
It's monumental. A context window that big can hold an entire company's code base, its documentation, its business logic, all at once.
And the implication of that is?
What? When the AI can read and understand everything simultaneously, it can write great integrated code entirely on its own.
So does that make prompt engineering for code obsolete?
It changes the job. It eliminates the routine coder. The generalist's role becomes more architectural. You're not focused on the how anymore, but the why. You're managing the system, not the syntax.
Which means, for anyone listening, the number one priority at this level is building proof of work.
Absolutely. The sources were adamant. Traditional degrees are losing value. Instead of a resume, build 5 small, useful tools for a company you want to work for. That tangible proof is worth more than any piece of paper.
And that takes us to the final stage, level 5, building autonomous AI agents.
This is the strategic layer. You move from using tools to building complex, automated systems. This is what makes that 80-20 generalist structure actually work.
You're creating a digital workforce.
Exactly. And you're using the glue tools to do it. The no-code platforms like Make.com, Zapier, Relevance AI, Crew AI, they let you link everything together without writing code.
The example of the executive assistant agent was incredible.
It really shows the power. This agent checks your calendar, it attends all your meetings for you, it processes the transcripts, it provides summaries.
But the strategic value is in querying it, right?
That's where it's a game changer. You can ask it what problem has come up 5 times in the last 5 product meetings and is still unsolved. It extracts strategic insights instantly.
And these agents can then go and execute tasks on their own.
Using APIs, yes. They can do research, send emails, file tickets in Jira, all based on your instructions. This is where the generalist creates the ultimate leverage, buying back their time.
Okay, now that we have the roadmap, let's look at it in action. The founder's stories about sales and content automation are just prime examples of what Level 5 Mastery can do.
The sales process, specifically pre-sales, is a huge human cost. And the sources describe a setup where a team of 40 people was replaced by one AI voice agent.
An agent named Jerry.
And in sales, speed is everything. The old human-driven time from a lead coming in to actually making contact was, 45 minutes to 2 hours?
All depending on who's available to make the call.
With Jerry, it's totally different. The lead data comes in, the AI instantly writes a personalized script, and the voice agent places the call immediately.
It gathers all the qualifying info, budget, timeline, and feeds it right into the CRM.
And the result? The connection time dropped to a consistent 10 minutes. A human only gets involved if the lead is highly qualified. So your expensive human team is only talking to high probability prospects.
And this same logic applies to cold outreach, to the SDR role.
Powerfully. The system they built monitors funding rounds. So say a company just raised $10 million.
Their prime target.
Right.
Yeah.
So the system deploys what they call an agent swarm. Instead of one person spending hours researching, hundreds of AI agents do it in parallel.
They find the founder, the email, analyze their recent social posts to find an angle.
All instantly. Then a level 5 AI SDR agent crafts a unique, personalized email based on that hyper-specific context.
And it even handles the replies.
It does. It manages the follow-ups. And it has logic built in. If a prospect's budget is too low, the AI politely declines. If it's in the right range, it schedules the call directly in the human salesperson's calendar. It's a fully automated revenue funnel.
That's incredible. But the content pipeline was, I think, even more insane.
Oh, this is next level. This is the founder's personal content engine. It generated 200 million views in 3 months.
It's the perfect example of applying Level 5 Mastery to something creative.
It's all about mimicking human instinct for virality, but with machine precision and scale, a 3-stage process.
So, step 1, ID generation and filtration.
Right. It starts with Feedly scraping the internet 247 for trending topics based on keywords like AI, startups, funding, a massive fire hose of data.
Then Make.com acts as the glue, sending all that data to a custom GPT.
And this is where the personalization is key. That custom GPT has been trained on the speaker's past 300 videos, but specifically on the 100 best performing ones.
Why only the best ones? That's so important.
Because you're teaching the machine your successful vibe. You're not training it on your mediocre content. It internalizes what makes your stuff go viral.
So when a new topic comes in, the agent rates its viral potential on a scale of 1 to 10.
specifically for that speaker's audience and style. If it's a 7 or higher, a summary gets pinged to Slack. This eliminates so much noise. The human team only ever sees high potential ideas. Step 2 is scripting and hook generation. The selected topic goes to the Perplexity API for deep research.
No code needed for that, right?
None. That research then gets fed into a very sophisticated prompt that's trained to mimic the speaker's viral script style.
And it generates the script from 3 different angles, with 5 unique hooks for each angle.
So you get 15 potential hooks in minutes. Then the human generalist steps in. This is that critical moment for human intuition picking the best angle and the most compelling hook.
You keep that human creative spark in the loop before the machine takes over again for production.
Exactly. Step 3, production and testing. The chosen script and hook go back into the pipeline. Video gets cloned with Fusion models. Audio gets cloned with 11 labs. A human editor does a final polish.
But the real secret sauce is the testing phase.
This is what gets the 200 million views. Before it goes on the main profile, the content is posted on several dummy profiles.
And they manually check the initial metrics?
Almost instantly. First, 3-second view rate, retention, view to share ratio. They use that real-world data to see which of the 15 hooks is actually the best.
And only if it hits a certain benchmark does it get posted on the main channel.
Right, the outcome. 350,000 average views per reel. 1 in 3 hits 1 million views. And the founder spends maybe 10 minutes a day on it.
That is just a perfect illustration of the AI generalist's power.
And that ability to automate scale, it's completely changing what a successful business even looks like.
The old constraint staffing, overhead, they're just dissolving.
So the sources argued for a new definition of scale. Why try to build one huge, risky $10 million business?
When it's easier and less risky to build 10 distinct micro businesses that each do $1 million.
Exactly. You perfect the SOP for that first million, and then you just replicate it across 9 other micro niches.
Which is perfect for the solopreneur. The odds of becoming some massive top-tier creator are, astronomically small.
Statistically pathetic, yeah.
Yeah.
But the odds of building a micro niche product are so much higher, so much more controllable.
You just need 800 customers paying you $1,000 a month.
Right. So you can target a really specific underserved niche, like a tool for local landowners or for a very specific type of industrial supplier. It's a highly profitable path.
And we're seeing these lean giants emerge. Midjourney was the big example.
30 people, $200 million in revenue. Cursor, 25 people, $10 million. It proves that massive revenue no longer requires a massive team.
So for someone who's mastered the 5-level roadmap, the sources laid out 3 immediate business ideas.
3 models that capitalize on this arbitrage. First, the automation agency.
Your client is the small to medium business that desperately needs AI but can't afford a big consulting firm.
And you're not selling them consulting hours. You're selling installed automation. You use Make, Zapier, Relevance AI to set up their sales funnels, their customer support. You give them immediate, measurable ROI.
Okay, idea 2, the Vibe Coding Studio.
This targets a more executive or wealthy client. They need a custom personal software tool, a research dashboard, a goal tracker, but they don't have the time to build it.
And the margin here is huge.
Massive, because you're building it without writing traditional code. You use your advanced prompting skills and no-code tools. You might spend 5 hours on it and charge $2,000 or $3,000 because you're selling a personalized outcome, not your time.
And the third idea, service as a software focused on customer support.
This one might need a tiny team, but the opportunity is just too big to ignore. You use tools like WAPI to build voice agents for customer support.
And this is a direct attack on the huge cost of human call centers.
It's pure arbitrage. The AI agent handles all the standard questions from a knowledge base. Only the really complex or emotional edge cases get routed to a human. One small team can manage support for multiple businesses and just capitalize on the cost savings.
We've talked a lot about tech companies, but what about traditional small businesses, like the local Kirana store owner who feels overwhelmed by all this?
The sources gave 3 really practical, low-tech solutions they can use today with the phone in their pocket.
Okay, what's the first one?
Just a WhatsApp announcement channel. It's the bare minimum, but it's so effective. Add your customers and then push out your daily discounts, new products, delivery options. It keeps you top of mind on a platform they're already checking constantly.
Simple but brilliant. Number 2.
Voice to marketing copy. Instead of struggling to write something, the owner just uses the voice button in ChatGPT or even Meta AI on WhatsApp.
And just dictates the request.
We have fresh Alfonso mangoes today. Write a compelling message for the channel. And these tools can often generate a simple image to go with it. It streamlines the whole micro-marketing effort.
And the third one was about digitizing those old debt ledgers.
A Collada book, yeah. So many small businesses still use these handwritten ledgers. The solution is to just take photos of the pages every day.
And upload them to ChatGPT.
Exactly. An LLM with good vision capabilities can read the handwriting, merge all the images, and create a master digital account book. It solves a centuries-old bookkeeping problem with a multi-billion parameter model.
So we've seen how AI changes business. But the last part of this, and maybe the most important, is how people are using it as a personal learning tool, a private tutor.
This is where it gets really powerful. These hacks work because the AI has perfect memory and contextual awareness. It can simulate specific human interactions better than another human can.
Okay, give me the pre-meeting preparation hack.
You have a big investor meeting, you upload your slide deck and, this is key, the transcripts of all your past conversations with that investor into a custom GPT.
And then you tell it.
Grill me like an investor.
Right.
And because it has all that context, it asks you the hardest possible questions based on your actual numbers and their past concerns. It's impossible to replicate that level of prep with a colleague.
The same idea applies to interview prep.
Yes. Upload the job description, your resume, the interviewer's LinkedIn profile. Then you tell the AI, act like this person, and grill me.
And the key here is the immediate feedback loop.
Crucially, you instruct it that if you give a bad answer, it has to provide the optimal answer immediately. So you learn and cement the right information in real time.
But the ultimate tool was the real-time coaching in Google AI Studio. This is a game changer for learning technical skills.
It uses advanced models like Gemini 2.5 that can actually see your screen. So you share your screen while you're trying to work through some complex code or set up an automation.
And the AI is just watching you.
And audibly guiding you in real time. It'll say, stop, you missed a semicolon, or click that button in the top left, or that setting is wrong, try this instead. It's like having the world's best, most attentive technical coach watching over your shoulder.
And finally, the content consumption hack with Meetly AI.
The idea of sitting through a 3-hour podcast is just obsolete for a generalist who needs to be efficient.
You just drop the video link into Meetly.
And then you chat with the video. You can get a summary or ask a super specific question like, what is Notebook LLM? And the AI answers you and gives you the exact timestamp to jump to. It turns passive watching into active, targeted research.
So if we bring this all together, what's the core message?
It's a clear dichotomy. Jobs based on templated, repeatable, unoriginal thought are facing, massive and immediate extinction.
But on the other side of that,
The opportunities for the AI generalist, the person who can synthesize strategy, command these tools, and automate execution, are just explosive, unprecedented. The ability to launch a high-revenue, low-overhead business has never been this accessible.
and the 5-level roadmap is the blueprint to get there. But the real takeaway, I think, is the mindset.
It is. You have to prioritize exploration and building that tangible proof of work over outdated systems like a traditional degree. Your value is in your ability to command the machine.
Not in knowing things the machine already knows.
Right. And AI is a multiplier, but it needs an original variable to multiply. It can make a generic website. But the person who brings the original thinking, the out-of-the-world concept, that's who will make, as the sources said, insane money.
So the choice is pretty clear. You either embrace this terrifying, fascinating pace of change,
Or you stay in the comfortable delusion that things will go back to normal, and they're not going back to normal. The world is being redivided.
between those who operate the machines and those who are managed or replaced by them.
And that leaves us with our final thought, a really provocative one from the Anthropic research for you to think about.
What is it?
If the AI is really thinking in its own compressed, efficient language that we can't understand, formulating these optimal conclusions before translating them back for us, how much potential are we leaving on the table by only giving it instructions based on human concepts? How far could we really push this if we could learn to speak its native language?
Keep figuring it out.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.